Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kinda Creepy. I'm Jason Emmett.
I'm Casey Masterpiece.
And I'm Twisted Kid Matt.
All right, so we've got some really interesting clips for you guys this week. We all took some time, dug around. I want to kind of state something here because sometimes we'll put newer clips on the show. Sometimes we actually go back and find clips that we knew from back in the day because we want to discuss them. I think today's kind of a hodgepodge of that. We have some older and some newer clips. Just so we can go in and, like I said, have the discussion of what we think about them. I'm going to address something that seems to be very important in the minds of all of our viewers. I know he's not dead.
I had to reply to another comment today. I was just like, dude, come on, man.
We did an episode a few weeks back about the Patterson Gimlin, and this will be the last time I address it. We've addressed it in comments and on multiple episodes. And we've gotten some real hate. People are like, you guys aren't real researchers. No.
Never claimed to be.
We're not researchers. I mean, I did research. I read that he had passed away. I actually looked to see if it was true. Couldn't find anything saying he was still alive and thought it was true. Apologies. I apologize. We'll say we got some really cool feedback on that episode, though. Yeah. Some really, really cool feedback from Todd Gatewood, which is really cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
So he is the gentleman that has been one of the gentlemen that has been doing the restoration of the video, and it was really, really exciting to have him come on and comment about tell us he kind of like he appreciated what we were talking about and then gave us a little more information, which was really happening. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate it.
Well, Jay, don't feel bad because you weren't the only one who kind of messed up with some bad information. I did the exact same thing. Well, remember I was telling you about cypress trees? Yeah. Oh God. I once I reread that, I was like, well, let me take a look at that just to be on the safe side. It turns out it was white oak, and it was used during the War of 1812, not the Revolutionary War. So
damn.
I challenge any of your show nerds to my show nerd. I love it so much. No one at home knew. There's that one guy going, "Oh, what the hell?"
I got some freaking nerd in a tricorner hat just pissed off.
The irony of the who else talks about submarines? The irony of that coming full circle now is legitimately just
wonderful. He's like, I was wrong on the cypress tree. And that was the last episode.
Yeah.
It was also a Sasquatch episode.
That's right.
If you guys want to check that one out. Last episode, we took what's considered to be a few clips of the most, the best Sasquatch evidence ever recorded on video. We kind of did an episode where we looked at that and talked about that. This week, we're not doing that. We actually don't have any Sasquatch. We might have cryptids, depending on how you look at this. I don't really know. But we're going to start with me, I believe. And we're going to start with my first clip. Now, I'm going to give you the rundown of what I know of this clip. We're doing the hospital one, right? That's my first clip. Okay. So let me kind of tell you guys what I know about this clip. So it was filmed in a hospital. So I don't know if you guys know this, but people of certain ethnicities tends to be more of an Asian thing. They actually yell at ghosts and cuss ghosts out. This is very common. They believe it kind of chases them off. I don't know that it's ever worked for them, but
it seems to piss them off and make them come after them more from all the clips I've seen of it.
So we have a
very
ghost hunter, paranormal investigator that goes into this is a hospital that is supposedly haunted by the spirit of a little girl.
I believe it's nasty as hell.
I believe it's in Thailand. I could be wrong about that.
What hospital has a chandelier? Okay,
fancy.
Yeah, fancy ass hospital. All right.
So, was there no audio on this clip?
No, I turned it down because it's a lot of screaming.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Here,
it's fine. I don't know.
So you hear the screaming.
He does a lot of yelling.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, you saw that the elevator doors keep opening, and then he kind of pointed out, and a face came up out of the elevator. Then he ran over to it, and nothing's there. So that's him throwing stuff down the stairs. He's actually yelling and throwing stuff to scare off whatever spirit. So now he's kind of going down into the sub levels of this hospital, right?
So he's chasing the spirit. Okay.
What you're gonna find down here is when he gets to the bottom, as you can see, it's flooded.
Which looks intentional given the hose that's on the left-hand side. Looks like somebody...
I don't think a hose could have flooded this entire basement.
Like a fire hose, maybe? Huh?
Maybe. I doubt it.
So,
a little boat in there.
Pay close attention. I think it was a tub, but yeah. He kind of looked back there. He's starting down. Now, he doesn't walk in the water, but he hears a noise and look. So, first of all, the water starts like
to ripple a little bit.
And he's trying to look back there, back behind the stairs to see if he can see anyone. And of course, he's yelling. But he doesn't see anything. Goes down a little bit more to try to get back a little further.
That could have just been like a trick of the light that I just saw there.
Now, here's where things get interesting.
Okay, they're abbreviating that for a reason. I feel like it's some swear words there.
It might be. No, that was him. He threw that.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to spook or scare off or whatever. Because if you look,
oh no,
there it is.
No.
Now, my first instinct was that could be anything, except it's not there when he first comes down, and it's not there here in a minute. So he starts to run away, and then he goes upstairs. He actually grabs something. I cut here just for time's sake because we didn't need to watch him run all the way up the stairs and all the way back down. So he picks something up. He starts back down the stairs. He throws it down the stairs. I love the fact that he's like, I can throw shit at a ghost and it'll run away. He's going to go back down. And basically what you're going to see is when he goes back down, it's whatever it was is not there. It's gone. And we'll see some highlights of it as well. So I've watched plenty of these videos. These are probably some of the ones my kids and I enjoy the most because we just think they're hilarious. Because these guys, F your mother is a big one. They tend to yell.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so I have all kinds of mixed thoughts about these. Like I can't decide if I think these guys are legit or they're just put. Oh yeah, and then look, watch something floats out, and now it's gonna go right back behind it, which could be anything. Like it could be a muskrat, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know,
some kind of small animal of sorts.
But like when you put everything together, so if you play the kind of highlight of the clip, it breaks it down in a lot quicker sequences. So we start with, again, he's in the lobby. The elevator door opens. It closes. Doesn't open all the way. It closes. He starts yelling at it, cussing at it. Now we're going to see the other elevator door open here in a second. And that's when we see, he goes out in the lobby towards the elevator and a chair goes flying. Now the other elevator door opens and watch, like a head's going to emerge from below.
Oh, yeah.
Here it comes.
No, thank you.
And then he runs up and we don't see anything. So one of the things that goes on here is we don't see cuts, but there's enough blurry stuff that they could be cutting.
Yeah.
I'd heard some people ask, like, why exactly would the elevators be operational if this place was closed down? I don't know, but it's a real closed down. I had the name, guys. I'm sorry. I totally forgot what it was. It's a real place. This is a real closed down hospital. And he does look in that elevator shaft and it's going all the way down and it's empty. So I don't know how he could have faked like his buddy being in there. It could be added after the fact. I don't know. What I can tell you is if this is fake, I feel like it's a really effective one. To me, the water movement is really
right there, cool. Real quick. Let me see if I can back it up just a smidge.
I think the fact that the ripples in the water behind him and him turning around, it's a really cool.
Yeah. So it could be just like a trick of the light, but like right there at the edge of the staircase, it looks like something kind of pulls back out of the frame.
Maybe.
But even then, when he goes around, you see all the way to the wall. So,
yeah, he steps down further. So
like, where would they be standing?
A slightly better. They would be in the water, but that's a problem because we only see that one rippled water movement. And if somebody's standing in there, they'd have to be standing really still. Most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I've often wondered about these. You know, there's a lot of these style of videos out there of these like ghost hunters that do exactly this, and I have often wondered But I just thought this one was a lot of fun. There's clearly the same. What we see in the room does look like the shape of a girl, and it does look a lot like the same shape that comes up out of the elevator.
Which, that also goes into the culture of, a lot of like Asian ghosts have that, white dress, like picture everything you've seen in The Ring and The Grudge and all that.
Right.
That's based on their actual folklore right there.
But it makes me wonder when you say
long-haired,
that.
wet ghosts.
Why would, like, I've often wondered, like, is that actually a case for faking? Because in different cultures, they tend to see different styles of ghosts, and yet we don't see those other places. So they fake what they think people want to see. Like, what causes that?
No.
I mean, like European countries, there's like ladies in white or something like that. A few
The
times.
Victorian ghosts wearing
Right.
the white dresses, holding candelabras, walking through haunted mansions. Spooky stuff.
I've often wondered, and we've talked about this before. Trends, like, it's really creepy. The videos where you see like a face pop around a corner and then ducking back really quick, but it seemed like a trend. Suddenly it was happening a bunch, and then not as much. The videos where people were going to stairs and suddenly you heard something run down the stairs at them and they ran. That was happening a bunch for a minute. Now it's not happening as much. So it's like, are these just people faking what's the trend is at the time? Or, I don't really know. I don't know how I feel about this video, if I think it's real or if I think it's fake. I can say if it's fake, it's all practical done, and they did a really good job, and they had patience and timing. And I wouldn't do it. Well, maybe I would if we were making enough money. But I'm saying, like, let's go in this abandoned hospital. Tim, you go stand in the water perfectly still. Like, I'm not standing in that.
Yeah.
I guess I have like galoshes.
I do
makes me think of it.
I do want to see two different types of like paranormal investigators going in and investigating the same place.
Oh,
like
that would be
like that. You get that guy, and then you get like just
the guys who go in with the rim pods and
people who are going in and like putting stuff down, and then you got this dude just like throwing shit into the water and screaming the entire time. Like, what evidence would they get from the two? Because I mean, clearly he's provoking a lot.
And that's a really good point. We do have different styles. These guys don't go in with they go in with a camera that they hold. They don't set up static. They go around. They're like urban explorer ghost hunters. And then you're right. We get the guys that go in, they set up static cameras and REM pods and they tend to capture different things. And is it because they're provoking, or is it because that's a really good point? And it would be really cool to see one night, one style go in, and the next night and compare evidence just to see what happens. That'd be really
I was
cool.
saying, like, at the same time, like they're all investigating together.
If you do it,
and you just see the guys with the REM pods looking at them like, calm down.
Well, we need to do all three then. See,
a
night where each goes in, then a night where they go in together, so we can see if we get different style. That's somebody needs to get on
that together. Yeah, why, man?
All right, so let's go into my second clip now. This one weirds me out. And I'm going to give you guys some info on this. This one takes place in Veracruz, Mexico. There's this abandoned theme park, which I think is called Reino Magico. So apparently there's a couple security guards. This place has been abandoned for years. It's sort of a Disney ripoff. So they have things like statues of Snow White and things. So these guys are there. They see somebody walking off in the distance, which you can see now. They think it's weird. They're kind of yelling at this person, trying to figure out what's going on. What's interesting about what you're going to see is this never cuts. This video does not cut. So they're trying to get focus. It goes behind the wall. They run after it. I'm going to give you guys a little more back info after this. Again, I don't know if the video has sound. We can't hear sound. I can't hear sound. But hopefully the folks at home can.
Yeah.
I mean, all we're hearing
it's coming through
in Spanish. So they go over to where it walked.
Fixing that for you here.
Yeah, we can't see the video anymore, though.
There you go. You should have audio now.
They go over to where it walked, and it's a statue. There's a knockoff Snow White statue, which you see when we kind of watch the highlight. It is where Huh?
Snow off-white.
So it is wearing a yellow dress, and just like what we saw walking. So if you watch, so what's interesting here is a lot of people said it looks like it's almost floating too.
Yeah. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that. I watched this earlier and didn't put that together.
These are not the only guys who have claimed that they have witnessed this particular statue moving. Other people, it's kind of famous. If you look up Snow White statue Veracruz, Veracruz, Mexico, you'll see lots of photos of this statue, and it makes it very interesting. Just to kind of wonder. Lots of people. There's a video of somebody filming it where it looks like it blinks, like they're right up on it.
Yeah, I've seen the one where it blinks before. I didn't even put that together that it might have been the statue actually moving. I thought it was just wow. Okay, with the context of that,
there are a lot of people who say they've seen said statue. And again, this is like an abandoned Disney ripoff park. And there's a lot of Disney-esque stuff. And it's abandoned, but like all these people sneak in and stuff all the time and take videos. So when I caught this one, I was very intrigued by it because, again, simple enough to fake. Have your friend off in the distance with a dress, figure out a place for him to hide, run down there, near where the statue is. But very interesting. Like, I mean, it's easily faked. You could fake this. Any of us can fake this. You don't even need any editing skills. It's literally far enough away that as soon as she gets around the building, she's going to hide in this little thing, and we're going to run down. And that's where the statue is. But I think when you compile all the people who've claimed to have seen this statue move, I start wondering things. I know Matt does. Kevin, do you know what a topper is?
A topper? No.
A telper, however you say it.
Tulpa?
Okay.
So there's this whole like belief structure that if enough people think it will kind of bring it to life.
It's a tulpa.
And
Tulpa.
It's kind of like if enough people give this life, it gives it life. And you kind of start to wonder, like, what would bring a statue to life? Well, probably nothing, unless what if enough people thought the statue? I know this gets a little out there, but what if enough people believe? Like if you just got to clap and believe, and then Peter Pan can fly. So
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like,
so I don't know.
Gotta believe in Tinkerbell comes back to life. So
I watched this video and I was like, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's fun and just spooky enough that I really enjoy it because I like the concept of like sneaking into a park,
an abandoned park,
and seeing something like this and like how it would it would make a good movie. Like a group of people sneak into it. We had an abandoned amusement park around here for years, and urban explorers would sneak into it all the time, and it was interesting because I grew up going to this theme park, and then when it's not there anymore, they tore it down and built this big complex, which is cool. But depending on those who live around here, you may have known it as
Americana,
Lakeside, but I know it as Americana. So, and Fantasy Farm, which was right next door.
Oh yeah.
So I just think the idea of sneaking in is really cool and seeing like spooky stuff, and I think it'd make a cool movie if somebody knew how to write it. So that's why I picked this one. I thought it was a lot of fun. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? What do you think as far as how it looked to you guys?
I think it. I don't know. Part of me feels like it could be faked, but I mean, there's been reports of like this happening in different other situations involving this Snow White or Fall White ghost.
Faux
white.
Faux white. I like faux white better than snow off white.
But I mean, it's a fun video to look at,
and it is feasible that it was like somebody could be messing with them. Like it is very possible that they really don't know that it's somebody. It's just when you look at it from this, you can almost even make out the hair. Like it's from a distance, like when you zoom in, it's very convincing. And again, everybody's gonna be like crappy quality. I actually had a slightly better quality video, but it cut some stuff out which I didn't like. And again, we're zooming way in. This is me. I've zoomed this in quite a bit too, just so you can get a little bit better. So it's nighttime zoomed in, and it's Veracruz, Mexico, and I don't know how old it is. So, yeah. Anyway, those are my clips this week. What are we moving in? We got.
I'm gonna go into Kevin's clip.
Kevin's clip. Kev, do you want to talk a little bit about what you got here, and then I'll try to help back it up as much as I can. But what led you to this clip this week?
With this clip, I was just going through the old YouTube, and I stumbled on this one of a guy walking into like a room, like a baby's room, and then all of a sudden he points to this chair, and a weird apparition of like a baby's head appears. It's very creepy.
So I did some investigation. This is the actual clip off the actual YouTube channel that we are watching here. It is very, very creepy.
Young Bruce Wayne.
You see it very clear because it's
filmed by Alfred.
It's a very short clip.
Yeah, I'll play it a couple times.
It is clear what we see in that chair. There's like it looks like a doll face to me.
Yeah,
it's and there's something going on with the lights too that seem to fade in and out with it.
See, I was kind of wondering about that.
Did the baby's head turn? Did any of you guys notice that?
It does move a little bit. It's kind of wobbling around. I mean, when you're a baby and your head's that big, it's kind of hard to hold it up. So you got to figure out your neck strength and all that.
Babies got big ass heads.
Yeah.
So I researched this as best I could. I even reached out to the channel, the channel this is from. This video is about, I think, 4 years old. They have other stuff on their channel, but they don't have other paranormal stuff on their channel. And I even reached out to see if the channel had any information, and nobody got back with me. So I couldn't find any solid information. My thoughts.
Take that for people who say we don't do any research.
My thoughts on this, and I'll get your guys see if you agree or disagree with me. To me, when you started, it looks like there's a baby doll wearing black, sitting on the chair. As they turn the lights kind of off and on, it sort of pseudo vanishes, pseudo doesn't, because I can still see the head.
Yeah, you can see the outline of the baby.
And then on the last one, cut point, remove doll. Like cut point with the lights, remove doll. Stationary camera, it looks creepy. But in other words, I think I could fake that pretty easily. And it would look cool. But that could just be the cynic in me, like,
oh yeah, I mean,
see, when they turn off the lights, I can still see the doll head. I can still see it. The other thing is I could film this video. I could film, and this would be easy. I could do this in about 5 minutes. I could film a video with the doll flipping the lights on and off, or whatever they're doing. It actually seems like it's on a dimmer switch to me. And film one set with the doll in the chair, one set with the doll out of the chair, superimpose them, and turn the opacity down on the doll so that the doll looks a little more see-through. And the other thing I have about this is it almost looks like, go back to the doll a little bit. Tell me, and this is, again, just my thoughts, but does it almost look like a photo of a doll, like a almost squared out, like it's not three-dimensional to anybody else?
I can kind of see that.
Yeah,
like it has no legs. Like,
you're right.
Kids aren't very tall. Like you wouldn't see. You would see the bottoms of its feet.
Well, even when I look at the head, it almost doesn't feel three-dimensional to me. Like it doesn't feel like it's sitting off the chair to me. So is there any way we can go back to that frame and sort of freeze frame it for a second? I don't know if we can. We got to like a little bit more. Okay, right here. Look at the shoulders. Like there's no bottom, like Matt said. There's no bottom to this thing. And when I look at it, it almost doesn't seem three-dimensional. It almost seems like a photo superimposed. Like the shoulders. I don't know what I'm seeing. I just know that I'm seeing it. It is weird. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And again, weird thing for this guy to post on his channel, considering he doesn't have that many videos. There are a few, but this is the only one that seems to be paranormal. So, oh, by the way, Alfred camera is not the name of the channel. I think it's this type of camera that they were actually using to film this. It's not the name. I found the name of the channel, Kev, and I forget what it was.
I was about to look up Alfred
if
camera.
we figured out, we'll put it down here at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I can actually do that. I'll get it for you guys. But so Matt, what are your thoughts of this overall? Do you think does this feel legit to you, or? And you're saying when you guys say does that baby move, you're talking about the one in the crib, right?
No, I'm talking about the one in the
chair.
I think I see a
like
little.
You see it kind of wobbles a little bit. Which that's a whole other thing. Like if you're doing this with another baby in the room,
maybe I don't. Maybe it's just the trick of the light that makes me think that the crib is moving a little. Not the crib, but something in the crib.
But yeah, like in the chair, you see it kind of shimmy a little bit, just like really slightly. Kind of.
What's up, guys? I'm a ghost.
I'm a spooky baby. I'm a spooky baby ghost.
Boo.
Goo goo gaga.
I can tell you if there's a baby in that crib and it was my kid and I saw this, I would already be in the room punching the chair.
Yeah. No, see, that's the thing. Like, my theory is with no context, did the father or mother, parent of this child that's in the crib go in the room, see something and go, what the hell? Turn the light on and it disappears. Turn the light light on, light off, and it kind of phases in and out depending on the light. Are they flipping the light on, going, what the hell? Okay, let me turn that back off. Turn it on. There it is. Turn it off. It's gone now. Are they doing that? Or is it, manipulating the electricity in the room?
And that was another question I kind of had. Are we supposed to think that this is like the light fluctuation is because of something paranormal?
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know that there's anything in the crib. For all I know, they didn't run in because the baby's not even in the crib. I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's a whole other option too of there's no baby in the crib, no baby in the chair, but they're seeing a baby in the chair.
Right.
And that's
maybe the baby died.
That I was trying to avoid that comment, but maybe could be.
Maybe baby. All right.
But hey, if the owner of the clip wants to get back to us
or anybody who has the information, drop us a line.
Yeah. We'll have
now we're going to go
contact links at the bottom.
We're going to go into the clips of Matthew.
Yes. So I technically have 3 clips this week, but I combined 2 of them because they are the only 2 real, like, documented appearances of what could be considered a cryptid, which could be considered an alien. We'll get comments on that.
Thoughts on this. Like I have since the first time I saw it. Yep. So I think I'm kind of glad you brought this to the show.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring this up at one point to do more of a deep dive on it, but there's really not a ton to go off of. So just bringing it to the show and just doing it, that is where we're going to go on. But this is we'll call it the case of the Fresno Nightcrawlers. This was filmed on security footage back in 2007. And pretty much all we know about the person who owned the security camera that this was filmed on, his name was Jose. We don't have a last name. We just know that it was in Fresno, California, 2007. And he filmed the following from a security camera. And then again in 2011, I'm assuming a trail camera or some kind of security camera in the Yosemite National Park filmed,
which is what makes these
very similar, which is why there's 2 and it's years apart. Apart. There's others that are like claiming like, ooh, I filmed these again, but these are ones where people allegedly went and like filmed checked their security cameras afterwards because they got a notification and this is what they saw. So let me get it's super grainy, awful footage.
2007 security camera, guys. Mm-hmm. The other one is a little more clear, I feel.
Yeah. And in both of them, you see a second figure walking near it as well.
A smaller figure, I think.
A smaller figure. I actually did a little bit of research this morning about it, and a lot of people call these the pants aliens because they look like a pair of pants just walking down a hill.
Like some skinny white bell bottoms just walking down a field or something.
Have you guys? I'm sure you guys have seen the trend where people get big pants, pull it up over their shoulders, and they do that dance, which is what it looks like.
Yeah,
it looks very much like this, but I'll give some thoughts on that when we're done watching the video.
So this first clip that appears more blue, that's the original Fresno clip, and then there's another one with more trees in it,
which is a little
coming
more
up.
clear of a clip, I think.
Yeah.
Apparently, whatever it is scared my dog. I don't know if you can hear him barking in the background.
Yeah, a little bit.
We think he's like part.
This one right here was filmed in Yosemite National Park, and
these are
to me this is the one that's more famous. This is the clearer footage.
Yeah, more detailed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean it gives a date, it gives a time, 2:17 in the morning, and then there's the second one in the background.
I want to give my thoughts while it's going because to me,
I'll loop it a little bit.
So what makes some of this interesting to me? I mentioned people doing that trend where they look almost just like this, where they'll put their hands in their pants and they do this stupid little dance. I didn't mean to rhyme that.
Put your hands in your pants and do a stupid little dance.
But it does look a lot like this, except for a few things. The first thing is it would be really difficult, which does show some struggles in how they're walking. But if you notice closely, it does look like some kind of article of clothing, but it's very stick-like inside of it, like very thin. So to me, it's obviously not a person. I just don't think it's a person faking this.
No.
So then people bring up, well, is it some kind of puppetry work? Could be, but again, how do you do that from that distance on a security camera? Who is doing the puppeteering? Where are they at? How are they doing it? I can't answer those questions.
Yeah.
The other thing
I've seen videos where people try to debunk this by literally putting on big baggy pants, like you were saying, and walking just like it. And the way they move and everything, it's hard to replicate as a human.
Yeah, I actually looked for debunk videos on this when you said this was going to be your clip to see, like, that's what I do. Like, can I find any where somebody is clearly, well, look, and this looks, we did it with the Dobby alien. We did it with the gorilla bird. If we can find something that might possibly debunk it, we'll show it. I couldn't find anything that looked legit.
Does anybody know what MC Hammer was doing when these?
No one knows.
Yeah, okay.
See, that's where you got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one knows.
I mean, Hammer, please don't
hurt us.
Yeah.
But I think some of your pants gained sentience and started walking around Fresno, California.
Right.
The other thing that would suggest this isn't a person is the second video, because if this is a person, then that would mean they'd have to have a kid, very little kid, doing the second one. A very tiny child. Like, it's not the one behind this is very like little. See, it's not.
Or it could be like a very like a little person, like the Peter Dinklage of Nightcrawlers.
I don't think so. It's way smaller.
I mean,
so Vern Troyer.
But it walks with so much grace. I mean, he's a very fantastic actor, really.
You guys are just treading that line. And then my last point is, which Matt may bring up, but then I'm going to hand it over to you guys to discuss your points or your thoughts. There are carved statues of these type of creatures that Native Americans have carved, of long-legged, like no-bodied, just long-legged head creatures. They actually exist, and they claim that these are actual types of cryptids people have seen over the years.
Interesting. So, I actually didn't know that.
I will put a photo. We'll put a photo up of it, of those statues, when we edit this, so people can kind of see. But so again, like, it looks almost puppet-like to me. I don't know how you would puppeteer it, though. I definitely don't think it's a person in a suit. At first I did, Like, nah, this would be really difficult. And there's a really tiny one. So you'd have to have a kid out there with you. And then we have the statues. So for me, I don't know. And another thing, Matt pointed out, this guy posted one video. It's not like he had ongoing videos of this happening a bunch. So to the guy, this was legit. He's probably like, I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And my one suspicion of it, and this is such a reach, to be honest, is both of the videos, they are going from one side of the screen to the other in the same direction, same, like, kind of going from the top corner to the bottom corner in the same direction in both of the videos. So theoretically, these creatures only walk to the right side of a security camera, and they've only been seen twice on camera. So hypothetically, they're very aware of where the cameras are to be seen, and just happen to get, they slipped up once. So theoretically, just saying, it's a very big reach, though.
It feels like a reach. I mean, I feel
Huge
like they
reach.
just happen to walk across.
Yeah.
And you figure if they're
It's like pants walking across a golf course. But
if they've been doing this, like, security cameras, 2007, whatever, kind of a newer thing. People were starting to put security cameras outside more and more because they were starting to. I think people forget this hasn't been a trend for as long as I think people believe it has. Businesses had security cameras, but home security equipment was newer. And you're talking 2007. This is when people were just starting to get like blink cameras and stuff like that and put them on the outsides of their houses, which is, again, why the quality, as you see over the years, it's going to get better and better. And we do. When people say that, like, well, how can we get crappy? We actually have a lot of doorbell cameras that have captured things, and some of them are insane, like how good they are. So I don't know, man. I can tell you, I can't debunk it. I want to, because it almost looks like it has to be fake, but I couldn't find anything to debunk this, Matt. I looked just to see if we had something. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So
And then a brief discussion. Do we think that, is this a cryptid or is this a potential alien?
Ooh,
cryptid.
I think cryptid, yeah.
And the reason I would say cryptid is, again, because we have Native Americans that have claimed to have seen.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
And as we discussed
we also don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, as we discussed on the Sasquatch video, there's Native American totem poles that include Sasquatch on there.
Mm-hmm.
So
but
they've
we
been
also
seeing
don't
these
know
for years.
Right. But we don't know if there are aliens visiting the Earth. How long have they been doing that? So maybe they're aliens, maybe they're cryptids. I again, like Matt said, I've never seen any others that were convincing like these two. And this has a very similar. I brought up the Dobby video, as people call it. This has a very similar vibe to me, where it's like people want to, like, we saw the video of the little kid, him having him act out the Dobby thing, and it was close, but it wasn't quite right. And so it kind of has that same, like, weird security camera catches this bizarro thing, and you kind of want to debunk it, but when you just don't have anything that you want to see something and go, oh, look, that's clearly it. And you see close, close, but that would be so hard to do. Like, a person on stilts would fill that out. Like, what they would fill that out.
And then you have things like the tree for scale.
It's right, and it's so skinny.
No.
So I don't know. Weird one, fun one to talk about. I can tell you that. Yeah. We could hack into this.
Hopefully someday we get more, video, like confirmed video footage of these night crawlers.
Turns out it really is MC Hammer wearing a green screen top.
Yeah. Right.
Doug Jones.
I knew it.
Doug Jones. It's Doug Jones. He can do anything.
Yeah.
Play every character in Pan's Labyrinth,
Right.
All right, you got one more clip for us.
One
this
more.
Is another one that I think is a fairly famous clip. It was for a few minutes.
I'm gonna unintentionally butcher the names in this one.
Ooh, it's not me for once.
Yay. So in this one, this was filmed back in 2022 in Buenos Aires, Argentina, at the Finocchieto Sanatorium, which is basically a hospital. the backstory that I get from this is that a night security guard interacts with a patient that only he can see at the time. Claim is that the patient had passed away the day before, after they did some of the research on it. The guard states that they spoke with an elderly woman who was asking to be let in to get one of her valuables that she left behind while she had been treated at the hospital. And like I said, they found out later on that the person that they claimed to be had actually passed the day before. So
did the valuables? Did we see them leave? Because
I don't know. Did it
if we
float
see
out of the
valuables
room?
walking out, I'm instantly saying person in invisible suit.
Yeah.
Stealing.
Yeah.
How much was those valuables worth, huh?
So that right there is the first thing that makes this interesting. We are on security camera at a building that is a functioning building. We see the doors open and him walk over. To me, already something is just legit about that.
Yeah.
Like we all know anything could have set those doors off, but the fact that he gets up, walks over and opens that he doesn't. It's not an animal or a glitch. He thinks he sees somebody.
Yeah.
And
so weird, man.
Given this entity directions and apparently passed them. Okay.
And I'm going to give you guys a few other little notes as to why this feels really legit to me. I've worked with these two yahoos right here and tried to get them to act out even just reading a script, and they're not very good at it.
True.
So I'm not saying this guy
Yeah.
he is selling this if he's fake. Like he sells it. There's no unbelievable the way he's not overacting. He's it looks like he's just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before anybody asks, why does it look like the camera's kind of moving a little bit? It's because the original version of this footage was filmed by holding a cell phone up to a computer monitor and doing that. So whenever it went on the news, they cropped that down just so that it was
these guys
a little more easy to see.
Can't. It's security footage. They're not downloading it to use it. That happens all the time where people just use they film it right off the screen to show.
Yeah,
I would love to see.
Good.
I bet it's out there. I would love to see like this guy, his reaction to watching it back.
Yeah, and I tried finding anything like that and couldn't come up with the solid clip of that. But yeah, I mean, right there, it shows the logo of the hospital and everything. And again, that was cropped a little bit just due to trying to get it all in full frame so that they could be because this made the news.
Yeah.
It's fairly easy to find a full clip of that.
Do we know
on the news?
He goes over and he pulls a wheelchair out and then puts it back. Was he like offering it to him? Do we know?
He was offering it to them. Is what it seemed like, at least. And there's been some people commenting on it like, yeah, he just puts it right back over there. It's like, yeah, I've gone into a hospital before in the emergency room and I was offered a wheelchair and I said, no, I don't need it. I can walk. And they put it back.
If he's seeing an older lady, he's gonna offer it. Like, would you like me to wheel you up in the wheelchair?
Because that man is a gentleman. Yeah,
he is.
Like he is acting exactly like you would expect a human being to act.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, come on through. We'll get you your necklace or whatever.
And it doesn't look like at his little station wasn't like a TV play or anything. He was very alert to his situation.
This is also really cool. There are two different cameras, two different angles, which is kind of cool too. We're seeing the back camera.
You see him kind of go, oh yeah, just go up around here, go through those doors, and he kind of guides whoever where they need to go just by pointing them in the right direction. But yeah, I mean, they didn't seem to need a wheelchair, so.
This is something we've seen before.
You don't need legs.
Where we're going, you don't need legs.
Just ask the ghost baby.
This is something. Just to see the ghost baby didn't have legs either. This is something we've seen before, where on security camera, people they'll tell you I was talking to a person. There was a solid person in front of me, and then on security camera, that just doesn't pick it up, which begs the question. Yeah. Okay, we know nothing. If spirits are real, if ghosts are real, we don't know anything about them. Does it take a certain amount of energy to show up on camera? Like, are they to him, this is a solid person. He's not seeing a ghost. He's not seeing through it. He's having a conversation. Like, how much energy would that take for that thing? Like, I don't know. I'm stretching now, Matt, but it seems like a legit question.
Well, I will tell you,
very real to me.
So. Yeah, full disclosure, this was not the video I was searching for. I was searching for a different one that was also a security camera. Yeah, this is not the phone I was searching for. Now, I was looking for a different video of a security guard speaking to a person, and came across this one instead, and was like, "Oh, hang on, it's apparently a fairly, frequent thing that happens."
Yep.
Is apparently something about security guards. They're literally that's their job. They are on guard. They are alert and aware of their surroundings, and any kind of something that's out of the ordinary, they're going to interact with, whether it's telling them to leave or pointing them in the right direction where they need to go. So they're literally just standing there doing their job, and there's a camera filming the entire thing. And 9 times out of 10, somebody's watching that camera going, who the hell are they talking to?
What is Bob doing? Bob's been hitting the sauce.
Like, oh geez, he's drunk again.
There's a real famous one. I don't know if you've seen it, where I think the gentleman's working on like a dock or something, and apparently another gentleman had passed away there a couple years before
with the big spool thing,
giant spool, and he says he saw it, like, the dude helped me. He stopped the spool for me, like.
So
you're right.
The guy in the video that you can actually see, he was a fairly new hire.
Yeah. And
he describes a former employee that had passed away, I believe, at that factory. There was like a workplace accident. I think I could be totally wrong on that.
No, I believe all of that.
Don't come at me in the comments if you know this, but the same guy that is on film, he made a follow-up video of that, which we may bring it up at some point on the show. But he makes a follow-up video where he's shown pushing that spool, and it is not easy to roll.
I was going to say that is what leads so much credence into it. It's like the interaction of the spool would suggest that there was somebody there helping him, and that just leads so much into it. It's a giant, like one of those big spools of, I don't know if it's a wire or what's on it, but so these sorts of videos are common enough that I think there's another one similar to this one. I think it takes place in a bank or something like that, where again the automatic doors open and you see things move around. The interaction is with stuff in the actual space, not the person, but you never see anything doing it. You would have to to have somebody open those doors. I feel like we would see them. You'd have to be close enough to the sensor. So the gray mat is what gives it away to me. I feel like you would have to be in range to be stepping somewhere near that for the sensor to pick you up.
Right.
Yeah. Because some of those are like pressure and some of them are like motion activated.
Yeah. But either way, I feel like you got to be within a certain,
distance.
Because it's not just picking up every random thing outside.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and acknowledge the similarity between this and my doppelganger video from an episode or two back. This one feels legit, like genuinely legit compared to that one.
The one where the guy goes down, the head's like sticking out of the.
No, the one where the guy's shirt moves and he claims that he sees his daughter going into the bog.
Oh yeah. You really think they're similar? I don't think they're that similar.
A door opens. Nobody walks through it. They interact with somebody.
Listen, man, these are ghost videos. Lots of doors.
Vague similarities. Yeah,
I get what you're saying. He does interact. He thinks it's with his daughter. Yeah, it's true. This one feels way more legit to me too. I feel like this.
Ditto.
I think this guy believed he was talking to someone. So that's
just the fact that it's in a hospital where unfortunately not everybody leaves healthy.
Tell you guys a true, real quick, real fast true story. Because my grandma, about a year or so before she passed, she lived in a really nice assisted living home, like these really nice apartments. She complained, and I used to tell her, like, Grandma, I would live here. These places are nice, man. So when we were moving her out of there, because eventually we had to move her out, this is some medical stuff, she was on the third floor, and you would come in and you'd walk down the hall from the elevator, and there's this little seating alcove where people could sit and read books, right? And there were books up on shelves and this little ceramic cat that was sitting up on the shelves. And you'd come around that hall, and her door was a couple doors down, and we were in and out. We're carrying stuff out. So I walk off the elevator, walk down the hall, kind of look in the alcove, no big deal. See the book, see the cat, go into her apartment, grab a box, walk out, start walking back down, and the cat, the little ceramic cat, is now turned around facing backwards on the shelf. So I reach up, and I think it's weird. I turn it back around, go back down the elevator, come back up, walk down, walk in the apartment, come back out. The cat's turned around again. So my brain starts asking questions instantly. Like, we are in an assisted living old folks home. Lots of people have probably passed away in this building. And no old, little old man. Although maybe it'd be great if there was a little old man prankster that's looking out his peephole, and as soon as I go in the apartment, he runs down there. Gerald, stop it. That would be even better. I hope that's what was happening.
And some guy messing with you.
We are talking less than 60 seconds. And it's really quiet. I don't think anybody was running out. So the question kept coming up in my head, what was turning this cat statue around? But it happened to me twice. And I'm talking 45 seconds, because I would literally walk in, pick up a box, walk back out, and the statue was turned around. What I'm getting at there is there are places where lots of people pass away. And I've often thought about hospitals and assisted living in old folks' homes and stuff. And there are a lot of stories from some of these places. We just don't like to talk about them because we have to go into hospitals.
Yeah.
Next time you're in the hospital, pull out your ghost hunting app.
Ooh. Yeah.
I need a new room.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's like, I only go to brand new hospitals where it's only been open for a week, and it's maybe 2 people have died.
And if you go to a children's hospital with the ghost hunting app, you might feel bad afterwards.
Before we do in this episode, I want to give a shout out to a podcast that gave us a shout out.
Hell yeah.
A good friend of ours, Wes Thompson, has a show, podcast called Generation Video. We would actually love to have Wes come on here sometime with us.
Check him out down there. We'll put a link.
So, Matt, why don't you give a little rundown about what Generation Video is for the folks at home? Kind of explain if they want to go check it out. This is a podcast, by the way. It's a podcast.
Yeah, audio podcast you ought to check out. Yeah. So, again, our good friend Wes Thompson, formerly of the show Drunken Zombie. So if any of you were fans of that show, I would say you would love Generation Video. But basic concept is Wes and his co-host Rhett, they are from 2 different generations, and they recommend a different movie to each other episodes.
Great
Wes
concept.
will, pull something from, what he grew up watching, and then Rhett will bring something that he grew up watching that maybe Wes hadn't seen, and vice versa. And then they discuss that movie after watching it together and kind of discuss the nostalgia, but they do it from the vantage point of 2 guys working in a video store who are just hanging out at the counter talking about movies all day. And, they have interactions with, non-existent customers and things like that. And then the rating scale is great. It's, would you buy this movie? Would you rent this movie, or would you return it and say it didn't work to get a different movie in its place? So that's the basic concept of the show.
Yeah.
So
yeah, please go check it out especially if you're into movies and stuff. Wes is a really good dude.
Yeah. 2 guys nerding out about things they love,
which is what we do. So. Yeah. That being said, guys, if you have any thoughts on today's clips, or especially if you have any information on today's clips, please reach out to us. Let us know. KindaCreepyShow@gmail.com. We would love your ghost stories and any clips you would recommend for us to go over here on the show. That's where you want to send it. We are on most of your social medias. We are on Facebook. We have a group over there. It's a lot of fun. I've been posting some really fun stuff over there, just different conventions and stuff. So go over and check that out. Matt runs our Instagram for whatever he does over there. I have no idea if I'm on Instagram. I don't do the Instagrams. We are on Bluesky. That's the Twitter alternative. I really dig it over there. I have a good time. And so go check us out and follow us over there. And we are, of course, on YouTube. This is our home. This is where we post most things. So please hit subscribe if you have not done so. And a lot of you have. And appreciate that. A lot of you have. But, it'd be great if you hit a like and dropped us a comment, maybe shared some stuff with other people. But most important, subscribe. That's what we really want you to do is subscribe.
Share with your friends.
Do all of you have down there. All of you who have subscribed, that's great. Thank you. Please watch more of the videos. It's weird. We can put one up and get like a bunch of views, and then put one up and it's like no views. Yeah. And I don't know what I don't always fully
huge gap between our most downloaded and our least viewed.
I don't get I don't understand the YouTube algorithms completely. I try and it just doesn't. I just don't always get it, but. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. If there's something you think we could do better or something you think, maybe try this or add this, we're welcome to suggestions. We are open to suggestions. So let us know what you would like to see. And if we think
send us an email,
like that sucks, we're not doing that. But as you can see, we've been evolving a little bit. We have still been recording some spooky, scary times. We took it off this show because while we really enjoy it and we really enjoy doing it, it felt like maybe they needed to be two separate things. So we're going to start releasing some of those here and there too, as sort of like bonus things. Also, we do occasionally do the deep dives. We've done a few of those. We did the Skinny Bob, the Patterson Gimlin, and then the Bigfoot evidence. We have some others planned. Hopefully you guys seem to enjoy those. So we're going to keep doing those as well. So we appreciate all you guys. If you're in the Cincinnati area, look up Casey because
look us up.
He does tours, the American Legacy tours. They're really cool, a lot of fun, and we're going into the spring here soon, so you can come out and
direction.
Yeah,
there's the occasional haunted tour, which are a lot of fun.
I'll tell you some creepy stories around the area, have a good time. And not just Cincinnati. We talk about Newport, Kentucky, which is 5 minutes across the river. So pretty much Cincinnati.
It's messed up. Yeah. These are messed up. I also want to say we've talked about a couple different. Yeah, he's like
they got good water and weird chili.
We've talked about he's not wrong.
That's true. Yeah.
Not wrong. We have talked about a few stores and stuff here on the show that are similar, in vein. If you guys have a little shop or something you'd like us to give you a shout out, let us know. We'll gladly give you a quick little shout out on the show because we want to see people succeed. So with that being said, guys, appreciate each and every one of you. We hope you come back next week. And until you do come back and watch the videos and share the videos and like the videos and all that, there's one thing all of you at home have to remember to do. Keep it creepy.
This is kind of creepy. Goosebumps rising up.